Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Oh, that is adorable. Last episode, we, got our equipment settled and got our spells all settled and dealt with, so things are good there. Oh, that's the, Oh, that's the mace. I saw that spiky thing in the back, and I was like, is that my tail? No, it's just the mace. Anyway. Last episode, we went and also looked at the merchants and sold a lot of the loot we had. Now it's time to run around the fortress, speak with people, speak with companions, and see if there's anything we can loot. Tavern. Looking around the place, the Count seems quiet and dejected. Ah, Fly, hello there. I'm feeling uncharacteristically pensive right now. Or rather, I'm finding it rather difficult to put my thoughts into words today. I'm trying to understand something. We've been traveling together for a while now. What's your opinion of me? You're an arrogant, egotistical brat, and doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. I feel like he'd appreciate the bluntness. Oh, well, and there I thought I'd learn something new about myself. Fine. Do you know why I asked you that? Because the answer to the question, what do you think about me, usually reveals more about the one doing the answering than the one doing the asking. Now that I've got you thinking, let's proceed through the usual small talk. Do you want to talk about your past? I've been thinking a lot about what happened since our visit to Heaven's Edge. Do you want me to write a detailed report? You are the commander of the crusade, not my personal biographer. Why do you need this boring trivia? Alright. Moving on. We've got a house here we can look in. Probably some loot we can pick up. And indeed, there is a little bit of loot. A random book that doesn't matter very much. Some ingredients. Some there, some there. Okay. Some random ingredients we can use for cooking recipes. Alright, I think Camellia is over here too. Like, just to the north of the house. Yeah, there she is. Anything to say? Nope, nothing to say. That's everything over here. So, let's head over to this side of the upper tier. See if there's anything to find up in that area. I don't know if there will be, but I'll check anyway. Oh look, a bit of loot. Yoink! I don't think there's gonna be anything of note around here. I don't think there usually is. Reinvigorate the land. Pardon? Well, now. And we now have just a giant tree in here. Okay. I can honestly say I didn't see that coming.
I'm gone.
That's new. And there's some kind of humming around here. Oh my god. Look at this. Okay, it goes all the way out to here, but holy crap. This is new. I think this must be related to, being an Azada, because I couldn't do that on any others. This is going to be amazing to see during the day.
We do it my way.
Alright, let's head out here. This is... The names of great crusaders and their closest companions are commemorated on this wall. Yeah, I believe these are, These are all names of, like, supporters in, whatever it's called. Kickstarter, so nothing to worry about there.
Follow if you dare.
One-Eyed Devil. A short, chubby tiefling with a golden eye patch spits chewing tobacco between his feet and takes another pinch from a tobacco box adorned with jewels. A fine day to you, Commander. Welcome to the One-Eyed Devil's trading house. His proud manner suggests that each word begins with a capital letter and perhaps even continues in capital letters as well. A trading house? It's just a shop. Ah, that depends. There was a time when I had nothing in my pockets but holes. But did I consider myself poor? No, I considered myself a rich man who was temporarily down on his luck. Optimism is important not only on the battlefield, Commander. You are the leader of a victorious army that will be chopping all the demons into mincemeat sooner or later. I am the owner of a trade empire, which, as you see, is only starting to grow. How did a tiefling end up on the side of the Crusaders? Oh, the answer is simple. The simplest thing there is. This is a good world and I like living in it. Besides, it's the only one we got. I'd love to know what's going on in the heads of the dimwits who are helping the demons destroy it. My guess is that their horns grow inward, so there's no room for brains. I'm from Cheliax. Tieflings don't surprise anyone there, and they don't like demons any more than we do here. And why should they? The gods went to all the trouble of creating this world. Even Lord Asmodeus and his devils helped with the construction. And now those freeloaders show up after all the hard work is done, just to gorge and break things. It doesn't matter who you pray to. If you want to live, it's your duty to help. Isn't that a risky name for a store for crusaders? Ah, yes, a week doesn't go by without some dimwit boiling over. Well, they don't pay me to explain the difference between allies and enemies, devils and demons, Lord Asmodeus and all the riffraff like Baphomet and Dascari, so they can go hang. The tiefling spits between his feet and swiftly places another pinch of chewing tobacco in his mouth. Here's what I think. You like it, you buy it. You don't like it, keep moving. If you're spoiling for a fight, take yourself off to the tavern. Why are your prices so high? We're saving the world from demons, and that includes you. Huh, that's some claim. Did you hear that, good people? First of all, my prices are perfectly fair. They're no higher than you'd find anywhere else. Second, who's saving who here? Are you prepared to eat bark and fight with rocks and sticks? You know, I have open contracts with dozens of suppliers. I arrange deliveries and do whatever it takes to get you sharper weapons, better magical items, better food. And you're throwing the extra expense in my face? This is the thanks I get for honest work. What happened to your eye? Should I make up a story about a heroic fight with a horde of demons? Truth be told, this is how it happened. Back when I was a snot-nosed kid, I had just opened my first business selling pies on the street. The local lads quickly took notice of me and offered me protection in return for a small share of profits. The usual, you know. But I was so young, inexperienced, and greedy, so I told them to bugger off. Well, they caught me and taught me a lesson. They took it too far, though. I paid for the lesson with my eye, not just bumps and bruises. It's funny to remember it now, but back then while it was happening, I was so scared. I thought they'd beat me to death. I remember I came running home in tears and my mom just started screaming. I didn't have a clue why. And then I looked in the mirror and saw there were just shreds and mush where one of my eyes should be. I've remembered that lesson all my life. Ever since that day, when I start a business, I find some reliable business partners first. If I'd been born in a merchant family, my parents would have warned me about this, and about plenty of other things too. But I was a poor lad, so I had to learn everything the hard way. It's a miracle how many times I escaped death by a hair's breadth. In fact, it's lucky all I lost was one eye. I can afford a new eye now, of course, but, you know, I just can't find the time. It'll cost a tidy sum, and I don't want to take it out of the earnings. And besides, being the one-eyed devil is a big selling point for me. I'd be a fool to get my eye back only to have to keep it hidden under a patch. Have you heard about my new powers? What do you make of them? Oh, people are saying bad things about you, Commander. To be clear, the speakers may not see anything bad in what they say, but I do. They say you're the chosen of Desna, the most insignificant of all the goddesses. The only thing she knows how to do is flap her butterfly wings and meddle in the affairs of others. They also say you're not a patch on the other crusade leaders, and that you'll accept absolutely anyone under your banner. A former thief, a goblin, a kobold, even a stump with eyes. And you've got yourself quite the troublesome pet. I could understand a serious battle dragon, but this misbegotten thing with dragonfly wings? It gives you as much trouble as a flock of hundreds of sparrows, and what good does it do you? It's bad business to associate with such creatures. I prefer devils myself, as the terms are clearly laid out in the contract. Alright, show me your wares. I do need to gather up food. That's all food things. Chain shirt barding, actually, I'd be willing to give it to my dragon. So I will buy that, and that should be fine. Alright, Ivu, let me give you a little bit of armor. There you go. Now you got some armor on you. How's that? Okay, you go there, you go there, you go there. Alright. Now, let's take a look in the inn here. See what's going on. More things to pick up. More ingredients and all. Having all of the ingredients you can is actually really good and fairly important, in my opinion. I'm surprised I can try to pick the lock. I'm surprised I succeeded at picking the lock. Holy crap.
There's something here.
And something hidden. Ooh! Crusade Chronicles. What's this one gonna teach me, I wonder? Alright, Crusade Chronicles. What do you give me? You give me... Where is it? Plus 10 hit points. Okay. Some extra hit points. I think I already had that one. No biggie. Let's see, nothing in there. I'll check the perception in a moment. Nothing in there. Elemental essence.
A trivial task.
One old killer told this my brothers and me on his deathbed. Then he died, and no one knows but us. I know this is their sacred forest. They prayed in the meadow of the spirits. Shamanic relics, you say? A big treasure. Sounds like a lie. Everything was collected, carried away, and buried in that cave. Scouts say a bear lives in those forests. A terrible one. There could be magic guards in the cave. That's why we suggest you come with us. We'll split the treasure equally. Congratulations on taking Dresden, Commander. It's a great victory, though you paid for it with much blood. Its smell still hangs in the air. I remember the smell well. The last time the air reeked like this was the most horrible day of my life. That day I nearly caught the spinner of nightmares. I think we've already heard all of this. Alright. Nenio! So, the experiment. Nenio gestures excitedly. I will need some supplies for this one. Girl, please bring me a bottle of alcohol. Any will do, and please hurry up. Science can't wait. Why would you need alcohol? I've already told you. It's for an experiment. Hurry up and bring it to me. What kind of experiment? This will be an experiment of a personal nature, but no less exciting for that, mark my words. Why don't you go and bring a bottle yourself? I am busy with an extremely important task, mentally preparing myself for the experiment. Besides, a task like this is a perfect fit for my loyal follower. Alright, let's just say I brought a bottle of alcohol for you. Nenio snatches the bottle out of your hands and stares at it with all the covetousness of a seasoned alcoholic. Here it is, my path to learning the true values of humanity from the perspective of the lowliest man on the street. She produces a corkscrew from her sleeve and looks at it in bafflement, then at the bottle, then at the corkscrew again. After which she hands the bottle back to you. Open it! This experiment definitely won't work if we don't open it. Do you always carry a corkscrew up your sleeve?
Don't be preposterous, but I am always meticulous when it comes to preparing for my experiments. I plan for every eventuality. Alright, I admit it, that's not true. But I have truly prepared for this particular experiment.
What is this experiment going to be about?
I'm taking a huge risk with this experiment. I'm putting my reputation, my good name, and even my future on the line. With the help of this bottle, I will lower myself to the level of the average man on the street, and I will try to understand the mentality of someone wholly devoid of intelligence. You surely know, maybe even from personal experience, that alcohol dampens mental activity and is a catalyst for stupidity. With a brain like mine, alcohol is the only way to find out how it feels to be an idiot.
Okay, you're talking as if you've never tried alcohol before.
I haven't. I never saw the point of it.
Truth be told, I only tried alcohol myself, really, once. That is a story that ended up with my parents wondering how the hell I didn't end up arrested. Ask me another time sometime. So you're asking me to be your drinking buddy?
Not at all. I'll do the drinking alone. Your role in this experiment will include standing here and providing me with a visible reaction to my inevitable temporary degradation.
Alright, fine, let's get started.
Well, let's begin.
With the steely resolve of a warrior going to his last battle, Nenio takes a big gulp straight from the bottle.
Oh, that's disgusting!
After she overcomes the urge to vomit, she looks at you with teary eyes.
How do you all drink this? I am doing this for the sake of science. That should be enough. Now, am I stupid yet? Quick, ask me about something smart.
How many arcane schools are there?
8, of course. Transmutation, abjuration, enchantment, illusion, and so on. By the way, did you know that there is one more so-called universal or common pseudo-school, and the disputes about the status of this school are capable of turning a quiet old university professor into a growling, spitting barbarian? It would appear I am not drunk enough yet.
Nenio takes another swig from the bottle.
Right. Seems to be working. Now, I need to come up with an idea right now. I usually have a ton of ideas. So, let's see now. Dascari and Baphomet. Their anti-Crusader alliance is not effective enough. They need to unite their forces on the physical level. Baphomet needs to mount Dascari and ride him into battle, 2 in 1. Yes, the experiment was successful. I am definitely drunk.
She takes another gulp from the bottle to further confirm her condition. So, how does it feel to be drunk for the first time in your life, from a scientific point of view?
Terrific. I have definitely become more stupid. More than that, I am as dumb as a box of rocks, and right now I don't give a rat's ass about science. Wait, I think I've got it. That's how men on the street see science. They don't give a rat's ass about it. Who cares how many arcane schools were recognized by some Absalom professors? Arcane schools are over there, whereas the bottle is right here where it belongs.
I hope you're satisfied now.
Incredible. My intellect never stood a chance in its battle with alcohol. And what is more striking, this fact doesn't bother me at all. It feels like all the thoughts in my head just went poof and disappeared. My thirst for knowledge, my desire to prove myself, they're all gone. My mind is so calm, it's actually a little frightening. I simply must describe this condition from my encyclopedia, but I'll get to that later. I just don't feel like it right now.
You're not going to drink like a fish from now on, are you?
What? Of course not. How could you think that about me? Me, the greatest scientist in modern times.
Nenio licks her lips with intense concentration.
Fine, maybe. A little bit. Sometimes. No more than once per year. And only if no one sees me. I've got a reputation to maintain.
Congratulations, I guess. Now what?
That's it for now. The experiment was a success. Just a moment, I'll...
Nenio stares at you with glazed eyes, shakes her head, and exhales loudly. When she meets your gaze again, her eyes are crystal clear.
Alright, I'm fine now.
What was that?
What was what?
A moment ago you were drunk as a skunk, and now all of a sudden you're stone cold sober.
Is that so?
Nenio looks at the bottle in her hand, thoughtfully licks her lips, and nods.
It seems that is indeed what happened. Clearly, I decided to forget the incident entirely because I no longer need this information. What I need now is to write an article for the encyclopedia about the influence that alcohol has on an individual's mind.
So you can simply forget you were drunk and sober up, just like that.
I have simply blocked the deleterious effects of alcohol from my mind. To put it in basic terms, I just forgot I'd consumed alcohol. The mechanism is similar to the one that I used to get rid of irrelevant memories. It's not overly complicated if you know how to do it.
Your abilities are amazing.
Yeah? What? What were we talking about?
Alright. Happy I could help.
On behalf of future generations, I formally thank you for your assistance in this momentous experiment. Now I have time to answer your questions. Come on, ask away.
Alright. Things we hadn't talked about before, so you're a kitsune. Nenio tosses you a skeptical look.
Stating the obvious does you no credit.
How does it feel to suddenly remember that you belong to another race?
It is slightly unusual, no more than that. Knowing this fact will not help me write the encyclopedia. Therefore, it is useless. Therefore, I was right to forget it. I posit that this fact evokes strong emotions in you because you feel kinship with me. And here is hypothesis number 2. You have never much liked your kitsune family, and you hope someday to be able to forget them all too. If the second supposition is correct, then you should train hard to clear your mind, and eventually it will work.
I'm gonna say no.
And to forestall your next question, no. For now, I'm not planning to forget that I am a kitsune. My abilities can help you, my loyal follower, in your fight against... Whom are we fighting again? Oh, right, the demons. See how much I appreciate your assistance, girl?
Right. Are you sure you really want to meet the mysterious entity we know nothing about?
I am sure. I am convinced. Think about all the knowledge hidden there in the emptiness. It seems to me that this event is certain to be my triumph. The experiment of the century. No, of the millennium! Or maybe it will become my downfall, a complete fiasco. Here's the deal. If the mysterious entity decides to gobble me up, run as fast as you can while it's distracted. Tell all of Galarian about the heroic death of its greatest daughter. Tell them she perished, but that she never strayed from the thorny road of knowledge.
Nenio sniffs and wipes a tear from her eye. Right then. Okay, Nenio, thank you for your time. You are able to just forget about being drunk. I'm sure plenty of drunkards would wish that he had an ability like that. Okay. Well, let's keep looking around a bit. Here we have a jewelry artisan. And Foreign Autumn Haze is there. Do you have anything to say? No, nothing to say. Alright, to the artisan. There is nothing here. Except a gold golem. Welcome to the shop of Derek Sunhammer, the finest jewelry in all of Mendev. True artistry, crafted by the master himself and his apprentices. Take a look. Okay, so you have a bunch of jewelry. Wow, that is expensive even though it has no value whatsoever. I mean, okay, it has a value of 25,000, but I mean no value to me from a practical standpoint. Alright. And there's the tavern,
I'm off.
where we will have some people to talk to. Oh, and down here is... Oh, Horgus Worm. You know what? We'll end by seeing if he has anything to say. Are you aware of my special powers? People say a lot of things about you. They say that you can make the burnt soil of the world wound bloom with a single touch. That your very image scares away the demons and makes their strongholds crumble. They also say that you pick your allies from among the rabble because it is your sacred duty to try to redeem them. Perhaps I put it too broadly. Let me explain. People see your power, and they also see that you are different from the other more righteous paladins. You are softer, brighter, a bit frivolous, if I may. They see that you have little respect for rules and restrictions, and that gives them food for various thoughts. The Crusades have never seen a commander like this before. What if not all the changes and people you brought here are for the better? Given these sentiments, I would be very careful if I were you. It is very easy to get carried away with your games and turn the army into a farce. I will keep that in mind, thank you. Alright, I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. Next episode, we'll take a look in the inn and speak with the people in there. Probably buy some more foodstuffs. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is me and Ivu. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. And I shall see you all next time.